Welcome. So, you're here because you're curious about data science. And why wouldn't you be? It's one of the most exciting and in demand fields out there right now. But you might also be feeling a little lost about where to even begin. It can seem like a mountain to climb, but don't worry. In this explainer, we're going to break it all down into a clear, actionable roadmap to get you from curious to capable. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to kick things off by talking about the two biggest things that stop people right at the beginning, the whole experience paradox and, of course, the fear of math. Then we'll show you the secret to getting past them, lay out a step-by-step learning path, show you exactly what kind of projects to build, and finally give you a real, concrete first step you can take the second this is over. So many aspiring data scientists get stuck right out of the gate. You've got the drive, you see all the amazing things you can do with data, but then you hit this wall of job requirements that just feels impossible. Let's get right into that. I mean, this is the classic catch-22, right? You're scrolling through job postings, and every single one is asking for professional experience. But how in the world are you supposed to get that experience if nobody will hire you in the first place? It's this super frustrating loop that just stops a lot of talented people before they even start. And if it's not the experience problem, it's this one. The very words data science can make you think of, crazy complex calculus and weird abstract algebra. You're probably thinking, man, I wasn't a math whiz in school. Is this career even an option for me? This is easily the second biggest fear that holds people back, for sure. So how do you break out of that no experience, no job cycle? Well, there's actually a proven way to do it. And the best part? It's something you have 100% control over. This right here, this is the whole key. It's the central idea that's going to unlock everything for you. It's not about trying to find some magical job that doesn't ask for proof of your skills. It's about creating that proof yourself. You see, a portfolio is so much more than just a folder of code. Think of it as your living, breathing resume. Every single project is real, tangible proof that you can take on real-world problems and solve them. It shows off your technical skills way better than a bullet point on a resume ever could. And it proves to a hiring manager that you are absolutely ready for professional challenges. Honestly, a great portfolio can make that lack of formal work experience feel almost completely irrelevant. Okay, let's tackle that other big monster, the math. And I've got some really good news for you. The kind of math you actually need is probably not what you're imagining. It is absolutely 100% learnable, even if you don't have this amazing math background. So here's a really important distinction you have to get. In academia, data science can be super theoretical. We're talking about inventing brand new algorithms from scratch, which, is incredibly math heavy. But in the industry, where most of the jobs are, it's all about practical data science. This is about using existing tools and models to solve business problems. You need to get the concepts, for sure, but you don't need to be able to derive every single formula from memory. So forget about trying to learn all of mathematics. Seriously, you can just focus on these three main areas. First up, statistics and probability. This is probably the most important one. It's the whole foundation for making predictions and using algorithms correctly. Second, linear algebra. A lot of data science models are built on concepts like vectors and matrices, so you need to know it. And finally, calculus. And listen, you just need the main ideas here to understand how machine learning models get trained or optimized. That's it. And here's the best way to actually learn it. Please don't just bury yourself in math textbooks. That's a bottom-up approach, and it's a fast track to getting discouraged. Instead, do it top-down. Start a project, and when you hit a part you don't understand, that's when you dive into the math behind it. The theory makes so much more sense when you can see exactly how it applies to a real project that you actually care about. Just let that sink in for a second. This is an expert telling you that this is not some impossible wall. For most entry-level jobs, the math is totally manageable. With just a couple of months of focused learning and all the hands-on practice you'll get from building your portfolio, you can absolutely master what you need to know. All right, so with those two big fears out of the way, let's lay out the actual path you can follow. This is your step-by-step guide to building up your skills in a way that just makes sense. This roadmap gives you a really clear progression. You start with the absolute foundation, core Python. It's the language of data science. Once you're comfortable with that, you need to understand the logic behind the data. And that's where statistics comes in. Think of it as the bridge between just coding and actually making predictions. Once you have those two down, you move into machine learning to build those predictive models. And from there, you can go deeper. Step 4 is deep learning and things like natural language processing. Then you've got computer vision for analyzing images. And finally, you learn cloud and APIs so you can actually deploy your models and let people use them in the real world. And as you're going down this path, you're going to be picking up a pretty standard set of tools. You'll need a programming language, usually Python or R. You'll do most of your work in Jupyter notebooks. SQL is totally non-negotiable for pulling data out of databases. Git is essential for managing your code. Every single person in tech needs to know it. And for machine learning, you'll get familiar with libraries like scikit-learn and TensorFlow. Okay, now for the most important part. This is where the roadmap and the tools all come together to build that killer portfolio we talked about. Remember, hands-on experience is everything, and projects are how you get it. Let's look at a few examples, starting simple and working our way up. You've got to start somewhere, right? And these beginner projects are perfect. For instance, analyzing App Store data to find what makes an app profitable. That teaches you data cleaning and basic analysis. Or digging into Hacker News posts to sharpen your skills with text and dates. A project on eBay car sales is great because it forces you to deal with messy data. Missing values, typos, all that stuff. And that is a critical real-world skill. Okay, once you've got the basics down, it's time to level up. Intermediate projects are where you really start getting into machine learning. Building a span filter from scratch will teach you a ton about probability and classifying text. A project like Winning Jeopardy might mean analyzing old questions to find patterns, which gets you into natural language processing and statistical testing. And now we get to the really impressive stuff. You can start tackling some really complex problems here. Maybe you predict heart disease using a classification algorithm, which basically sorts patients into has disease or doesn't. Or you could use clustering to automatically group similar credit card customers together for a bank. Or even use regression to predict a specific number, like how much someone's insurance policy will cost in the future. So, that's how you do it. That's how you build experience, one project at a time. You have the map. You know how to get over the hurdles. The only thing left to do is to actually take that first step. So let's talk about what you can do today to get started. The most important thing right now is to just build some momentum. Get a quick win. These guided courses from Google Skills are a perfect way to do that. You could start with a core data skill, like learning how to pull insights from BigQuery data, or learn how to share data using the Google Data Cloud. Even more technical skills, like migrating a database to the cloud or learning to monitor systems with Prometheus, are great first steps. Each one of these gives you a practical skill and a badge for your profile. It's a super low-friction way to get your first win and start building that portfolio right now. So that's the path. We've gone all the way from tackling those initial fears to building a portfolio of projects that proves what you can do. You have the roadmap, you have the tools, you even have ideas for your first projects and skills to learn. The only question left is, what problem are you going to solve first?